I see.
I see, yeah.
Do you see it maybe holding its own? Or
Oh, it will hold its own.
Will it grow again in strength back to its former days?
Hopefully it will.
Have you any plans for the younger ladies of the
Well, we'd like
area
to see the younger women coming in and keeping the thing in the parish.
But are you doing anything that, to cater for those younger
Well, if they
people?
came in and if they said what they wanted, well, we'd go along with them just to keep the thing in the parish.
Yeah, you wouldn't feel now that it would be your place to go out and do something that would entice them in? Possibly set dancing or something like that, maybe?
Well, if they came, we've tried the set dancing.
No good.
We were gone from it.
Gone from it.
Yeah.
Gone too old.
We were gone from it.
You're a very unfit bunch of ladies.
No, I wouldn't say that. If our legs were as active as our minds, we'd be flying.
Terry, that's a wonderful rundown, and you certainly put great humour into the ICA, and thank you for coming along there.
Thank you very much. Thank you too, Jimmy.
I just want to get my notes.
Oh yeah, get the notes on.
I think it's okay.
Right. Now, after Terry Power there, who gave us a great rundown on the ICA, I'm joined by Mary McGrath on the accordion, and Mary's going to play for us some lovely hornpipes, starting with The Boys of Blue Hill.
I know, but when I'm at home, it is grand.
It's lovely.
Very nice. Is Peggy here?
No.
I talked to him.
She's
I wanted to, yeah.
There, and those nice hornpipes. I'm joined by some members of the Effin hurling club. We have John Keeffe and Mike Kelly along, and John is going to fill us in the older part of the hurling club in Effin. Is it long in existence, John, the hurling club here?
Well, the present hurling club now has existed since 1953. But I have an older team here back from the Wonder South back in 1937. And I'll give you their names now as they go along. In goal with Bill Fitz of the Hall. The full back line was Tommy Francis Blood, Pat Carroll and Jim Carroll. The half line was Johnny Ryan, Richie Barry and John Gilbert. Centre field with Tom Fitz of the Hall and Paddy Ryan, their captain. Paddy Ryan also, he won Munster Joan with Limerick.
And of course, Paddy Carroll there, he was an inter-county hurler, wasn't he?
Paddy was an inter-county hurler with Limerick. He went to Joan of All Ireland and the State of All Ireland with Limerick, Paddy. Now, with Tom Fitz and Paddy Ryan, I'll go along now the half line with John Fitzgibbon. That was John Fitzgibbon is a Ballymac. With centre forward with William Fox Fitzgerald, we call him. And then with Mick Carroll. He's Mick Kito Carroll, we call him. He played for Ballyhea one time. The full forward line, then we had Paddy Fitz. He was a brother of Willie's. With Johnny Carroll, full forward line in. He was a brother of Paddy Carroll's. He played for Ballyhea in his day too. And we net away in the other corner. And the two subs of that South team that day was Tom Ray and Tom Ryan. Paddy Ryan. Then we'll come down along to the younger players. With Tom Blood, he played for both Limerick and Munster.
Was he a son of that Tommy Francis you were speaking about?
Yes,
there?
Tom now was the son of Tommy Francis. That was the 1937 team. And then we came on to Ned Ray. Ned Ray won Munster and All Ireland with Limerick in 1973. Matt Ray then, another boy, he won 2 national hurling leagues with Limerick.
He was the brother of Eamons, wasn't
Brother
he?
of Eamons. With Jerry Ray then, he played for London 1973 against Limerick. We come along now with Conor Donovan. He's playing for Nina and he's the present fullback for Tipperary. So different flag is flying in every county.
There's a great tradition of hurling in
There's a great
John.
tradition of hurling. Ned Ray is the present chairman of Forest Club.
That's the Dublin
Dublin
Club, yeah.
Another one of our players that left us is John Hayes. He's playing for Kilmacuds in Dublin. Another player, Mike Carroll. He's playing for Bray. Matt Ray, Jack Ray and Mike Ray playing for Clahon. Jimmy Burke playing for Carmore Rovers. Noel Murphy for the Bears. Liam McCarthy for Kilmallock. That's where all our hurlers are gone at the present.
And is it employment you're blamed for they're not staying with Ifan or what?
Well, employment, no jobs, because they all have to travel from there. Go beyond 18, they're gone from us.
And the hurling club in Ifan at the moment must be pretty weak, seeing that you had named out most of a team there and all top class players.
All top class players, and we lost 3 more players. Davy Barrett through an eye injury, Jimmy Gilbert a leg, and Mike Ryan hurt his knee, so it left us with nearly 14 players in 1 year.
Do you find it a problem to keep the hurling team here then?
Well, we're keeping them at a rate, but we're a bit weak, and we hope to keep going anyway, and we're trying to do it best for them. We have a field and we have everything there for them.
And back over the years there now, you mentioned players there in that 1937 team.
Yeah.
Some of them you mentioned they played with Ballyhea. There's very close ties with Ballyhea, and you were supposed to the border.
Well, we always had good ties with Bally. We always had good ties with Ballyhea, and we were a neighbouring parish, and of course there's a bit of both of the boundary. When there might be a bit of poaching at times, which is nothing about it, and that's the way things work out.
It always ironed itself out.
Always ironed itself out. We never know difference with the club.
And
we're good friends at any time.
was that due to land, Ballyhea land going into Effin country and vice versa?
Well, yes, there's some women there. They're both land in Effin and Ballyhea.
So, and when Ballyhea would meet Effin then in a tournament or a thing, was there great rivalry? Would it tend to be maybe over robust at times?
That would be a bit of a high spirit there, all right. We'd meet now every year since the last time we met in Kilmarnock in a tournament.
And I suppose Ballyhay have, they're gone up. in the
Ballyhay gone from us now, they're gone senior.
And for the future, the hurling club here, how do you see it? Will you struggle along, seeing that you haven't any jobs to hold the players?
I see a great future here at the present. We have a juvenile club, and we'll bring on later on who's autumn to give me home to that, and there's a great future in it for young people.
But of course, the facilities, you have the new field.
We have the new field,
and I suppose Mike here will fill us in
Mike will fill in
on the field. Mike, did it take a lot of effort to get the field, or a lot of funds had to be generated, finance?
It took a lot of effort indeed. Well, we started out in 1978. We decided it was time to get a place so that the youth of the parish would have a place to play in. So we purchased 6.5 acres from the McCarthy family for 20,000. We had to have £2,000 of our own at the time, so we vested the field in the GAA so that we could get a cheap loan of £9,000 at 6% over 5 years. And we also got a £500 loan from the South Board of the GAA. And there was no interest attached to that. So it was then a question of getting finance. So it took a bit of time by the time the solicitors had tied up the deeds and so on, so that we had to get an interim loan from the local bank. In fact, we had to change our bank because the bank we were with at the time, that's the bank that says, what can we do for you? It decided it could do nothing for us. So we changed to the other bank, and they gave us a loan, no bother. So we had to set about collecting funds, and we had a number of events. We had a Silver Circle, 45 card games, sponsored walks, barn dances, and so on and so forth. And all the other organisations in the parish, they like the ICA, the Winter Ladies Football Club, the Badminton Club, the Pioneers, and so on. They all organised events, and they donated the proceeds towards the field.
Are you near an official opening now, shortly?
Well, we came along in 1980 and 81, and we developed the field. We built entrances, and we paled in the field and the playing pitch itself. We did it bit by bit because the finance wasn't always available, and we had to pay back the loan. So it was only 1985 that we did our first building, 1985 and 86. So we have been attempting to get a match with the Limerick senior team to play here, hopefully against Cork. But Limerick have been successful in the league down for the last few years. They won it 2 years in succession, and then they got to the quarter final last year. They're in the quarter final again this year, and they play so few matches between the league and the championship that it's almost impossible to get them to play.
Getting back there to the work on the field, you mentioned there that you got great cooperation from all the clubs. Was it much the same, the work that was done? Was it voluntary, a lot of the work that took place in the field, fencing and buildings and things like that?
Oh, it was all voluntary work. We have a small but enthusiastic committee. Unfortunately, when we bought the field, some of the members, the chairman at the time, P.J. O'Donnell, he got ill and he wasn't able to continue. And we had our treasurer at the time, Paddy Kennedy. Unfortunately, he died at the young age of 42. And we had a number of other members at the time, and they pulled out, you know. So we were lucky enough to get a few new members in, and they helped us along. We had John O'Keeffe, the chairman, himself and his son-in-law, William O'Sullivan, and Tom Bluth, and so on. They put in a fantastic amount of effort. It was all voluntary effort went into the field.
Would you say now, spending a lot of money in a hurling field in a place like Effin, very close to Kilmallock, where they get all the championship matches. Would you think if it'd have been better if he just geared it to a lower state, you know, that he just had facilities for the local club and things? You wouldn't ever hope to get big championship matches, would you?
Well, you never know. We've hosted a Dr. Harty Cup match and higher educational football final here. Well, the facilities are quite good. You know, the field is excellent, and so on. It doesn't cost that much. You know, we spent only 10,000 on development, which is only buttons compared to what clubs are spending nowadays. You're talking about clubhouses, 50,000 is nothing. So we've only spent 30,000 altogether, which is small money, you know. So at least we have the facilities for the local youth, and you know, there's no cause why they should leave the club here to go on to other clubs. In fact, some of our players went on to clubs that even haven't got pitches.
So you'd say that it is possibly for the younger players, you're gearing the pitch to hold on to the players for the future of the team in Effin, strengthening or getting back to a good team like you had years gone by.
Well, you've got to start with the youth, I think now at this stage. But I mean, the field is there for everybody in the parish to play, and we hope to add on tennis courts and maybe handball alley and squash court maybe in time to come. I mean, there's lots of space there for development, and we hope to, you know, that everybody will use the field.
And we'll come back to John here for a moment. That was a great rundown there, Mike, on the field itself. Back over the years now, John, the most outstanding players you had, you mentioned some of them there. There's some All-Ireland medal holders in there as well. Do you see any in the future now, any player from Effin getting on the Limerick team? Is there any young boy coming up now that's showing great promise?
Well, we wanted the president, he's fit for his standards, Dennis Donovan.
He's with Tipperary, you were saying?
No, O'Connor, his brother. Dennis
brother.
Dennis is fit for a county team if he got to run any time.
He's still at minor level.
No, he's under 21.
But do you find it all that they need a bit of a pull, a country fella to get on a team?
Oh, an awful pull.
It means a lot.
It means a lot, the pull means a lot. You won't get nowhere without a pull.
No, I suppose that's very true indeed. Gentlemen, that's a great rundown on the hurling in Effin and the grounds and all. Thank you both for coming on, tell me all about it.
October 1677 was a day of great renown. Our Captain Jim, he led his team down to Kilmallock town. The South final day had come, array the stakers were to kill. But we had no doubt they'd win the South, the boys from Sweet Effin. From Brickfield came our goalie, Connie Daly was his name. You'd hear them shout as he swept the ball out with his craft, skill and fame. From Ballymac came our three full-backs, Jim, Mike and Pat. Where would we be without them, you see, the boys from Sweet Effin? Now trainer Tom, so brave and strong, 'twas he had the boys in trim. At left and right he had Miner's might, my Carol Davy Barrett so prim. At centre field you had Captain Jim, he was always in command. And with Ryan at his side we were filled with pride, as Jim scored for Sweet Effin. Now there's Joe and Lee, Maneely too, they bravely show their skill. With an eagle's eye, Joe let fly 2 points for Sweet Effin. Or for forward line we had Brickfield strong, the McCarthy boys and Matt. 'Twas our pride and joy when Dennis shot by, the final goal for Sweet Effin. So hip hip hooray for our gallant PJ and our boys from Sweet Effin.
A slight error there now introducing Mary. I mentioned that 77 was the last time Effin won South Final. In fact, it was 82, and Mary was along that day as well. And she has a nice song all about that famous team right now for us.
It's 5 years since we won the South Final. That joy's again with us today. Our victory is ever more precious. Our Patrick this time was our prey. Here's to Barney's heroes, the champs of the South, you see. They're our parish's joy, everyone's boy, the 1982 F&N team. The paper said just a formality, our Patrick to play on that day. But it turned into reality when the F&N boys snatched it away. Here's to Barney's heroes, the champs of the South, you see. They're our parish's joy, everyone's boy, the 1982 F&N team. Our selectors, they had a great challenge to pick the best team for that day. But when Hay shot the spinner, they picked on the winner, and our Patrick's big dream passed away. Here's to Barney's heroes, the champs of the South, you see. They're our parish's joy, everyone's boy, the 1982 F&N team.
Gentlemen, she tells me she's a blow-in to F&N. Former Tipperary lady, she's not a blow-in, she said, but she came from Tipperary, so you can make up your own mind whether she's blow-in or not. She's here for how many years, Sadie?
22 years, the 14th of December, the year of our Lord 1964, we arrived in the parish of F&N.
What tempted you to come into County Limerick?
Well, my husband is a Limerick man, County Limerick man. I'm from Tipperary myself, very proud of it. Now delighted to be in Limerick. But we were farming and, well, for personal reasons and one thing and the other, decided to change.
Your husband, yourself, you were farming. You're married,
Yes.
a farmer.
I married a farmer. I was bred, born and reared on a farm,
Yourself.
myself.
You come from a great Gaelic family, hurling family.
Oh, I do, yeah.
You might tell us a bit about a very famous brother you had.
Well, you could call me lucky or unlucky, whichever you like. I'm of a family of 7, 6 brothers and May Fane. And every one of the 6 brothers hurled. No, I think, you know, they usually talk about the girls as being the roses amongst the thorns. I think I was a thorn amongst the roses because all the roses of our family hurled, you see, and there wasn't much space for me in that field. But all my brothers hurled. But let's see now. One of them has an All-Ireland minor medal playing full-back for Tipperary way back in 1949. Another one played full-back for Tipperary in 1951. Some of them played in the forwards at minor level as well and then moved out of Tipperary. I have a brother who played centre-back for the London Irish team that won the All-Ireland Junior honours way back. And then Terry came along and he found a niche in the goals when he was at school in St. Flannan's College and the Harty Cup teams. And they won All-Ireland or Harty Cup honours. And they were beaten by Kilkenny in the All-Ireland final.
United front, and I think we have proved that so far anyway, that they will, if Paddy keeps his end up, the parish should get a long way.
I'm quite sure Paddy will. And we'll have a few words with Paddy now. Do you find, Paddy, some parents don't fancy their children going hurling? That it has become rather dangerous?
No, I wouldn't say that, like. If the club children work together like we're working now, before it was all upper F&N, like, and there was nothing, there was no one below lower F&N. The whole of the man to bring the young lads together, like. Now they're all coming up. and they're working well together, like.
So you'd be saying that the fact that you're from Lower Effin has something to do with that?
Well, it is, yeah. We asked them, like, and went around to the door to them. You know, they come up and they did. Ever since, like.
Would you say that the purchase of the new field maybe had something to do with that?
Yeah.
It generated up the interest for the parents as well.
Nothing below, like.
Now, for the coming year, what way do you think your juveniles will get along?
Well, we're hoping to do good like last year and win the championship again in both grades.
I'll come back to Anne there for the concluding words. Running a juvenile club, is it very expensive, Anne?
Pretty expensive. At the price of hurleys at the moment, it is crazy considering we should pay VAT and our hurleys, which every government have been approached about it. They all say they're going to do something about it, but when it comes down to paying, I'm afraid Charlie will have to get his act together and get
the VAT off
the hurleys for us, because it's our club last year, our juvenile club last year, cost over £1,000 alone, and that's only at Grade C in South Limerick.
Be hoping, I suppose, in the years to come that you'll have successes, possibly maybe teams as good as 1977 and 1982, those great teams that won the South there.
Hopefully, and I'll read out for you a team that won in 1977. They won the South Limerick Championship. In goal was Connie Daly, cornerback Paddy Sheedy, Jim Maloney, Mike Carroll, Davy Barrett, Tom Blood, Mike Carroll. Mike Carroll at the chapel. There were two Mike Carrolls. Mike Carroll at the chapel, we call that.
Yeah.
Jimmy Gilbert, Mike Ryan, Neely Barry, Liam Ryan and Joe Ryan, Peter McCarthy, Dennis McCarthy and Matt Ray.
And now, before we leave that team for a moment, then, would they have children on the present juvenile teams now?
Some of them have. We have their children are playing with us now at underage level. Some of the children of those teams.
No, the 82 team, which is much later, and they were a team, I think, that brought great pleasure or great joy to the parish. They were complete underdogs in a South final way back in that year.
Yes.
And your arch rivals, our Partick, were the people that were at the wrong end of it at the end of that day in Kilmallock.
Yeah, and that particular team was in goal with Dennis McCarthy, Paddy Sheedy, Mike Carroll, Jimmy Gilbert, Davy Barrett, Lee McCarthy and Joe Ryan. Now Jack Ray and Matt Ray were centre field.